Tonight on Scrap Hoarders, after years of crafting and card making, the team of 12 crafters will brave their piles and bins of paper scraps to help you destroy yours.
Hello and welcome to the Scrap Hoarders Birthday Collaboration Series. There are wonderful crafters in this collaboration, and for the next 3 weeks we're going to show you different ways to use your scraps. We all have tons of scraps from our card making and other paper crafting, and this week we're going to show you how to use those scraps to make embellishments of all kinds. And in the following weeks we'll be making tags and or tree toppers and cards. At the top of the description box you'll find a link to the next person in the lineup. I hope you take time to watch all of our videos, and as always we love your comments and thumbs up, and if you aren't already a subscriber we hope you'll consider subscribing and click on the little bell so you won't miss the next volume of the Scrap Hoarders series. You can also use hashtag Scrap Hoarders to find all of our videos. Some of us might be offering prizes on our channel, so be sure to pay close attention to details. At the end of this 3-week series, we will have 3 grand prize winners drawn from those that watched and commented on all videos each week. The grand prize drawings are open internationally. Check the description box down below for all of the details. So welcome back to another Scrap Hoarders. It has been a minute since the last time that we had one of these. So this time we are having a theme of birthday. So I am pulling out my good old scrap bin that, although I have been trying to use my scraps more so than I have in the past, I still have way too many of them. So that's what I'm going to go through today and see what I can come up with to make for some birthday cards. The theme of today's hop is going to be birthday theme. So the first video, this video we're doing today, is embellishments. So I'm going to work on making some embellishments to go with a birthday theme. Next week we'll be doing tags and I believe it's tree toppers, and then the final week we're going to be making some cards using our scraps, making some birthday cards. So that's going to be a lot of fun. When I think of birthdays, one of the first things that goes into my mind is balloons. So one of the cards that I've done this last year that I've absolutely loved is when I keep on using this basically this punch. This is from EK Success. It's a balloon punch. I love this one. Okay, so I recorded the whole thing, and in editing, turns out that I did not record the whole thing. So I am basically starting over on a lot of what I made yesterday. I do want to go ahead and show you the 2 completed embellishments that I did create yesterday. I thought they were super cute. This one was basically, I started off with a balloon punch, layered it up, then I got a couple of other like label type of dies and went ahead and cut those up, but it's so cute I wanted to still show it to you. This one is a little shaker that would be a perfect little embellishment to the front, and I created most of the little bits in there by using a confetti die from, I think it was from Cuttlebud, and I don't know if it's still available, but that at least is where I started yesterday. So I decided to change up a little bit and do a different shape for the rest of this project, and so I went ahead and off screen went ahead and cut out a bunch. These are hearts from the Penny Black, I wrote it down, Penny Black Heart Balloons dies, and I just did the largest 2 layers and just cut out a hole in the middle. So this is going to actually be a shaker. I've got a bunch of this already cut out to save time, and I'm going to layer those up to basically create the well for my little shaker bits. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my art glitter glue, which I refilled. And to do this, all you do is just glue these guys together, and it will create almost, depending on how much you use, of course, can be almost like chipboard. So it's nice and thick. So you just add your wet adhesive to that, and then line those up and just continuing until you've got the thickness of the well that you want to use. I also cut out a piece of acetate to fit behind that one of the panels, and I'm going to go ahead and just add this last one to the top here. Just using my art glitter glue, and I'm using my reverse tweezers just because it's a little easier to hold on to everything and keep everything nice and straight, especially when I use too much glue in places at times. So now I've got my well created, and you can tell it is a little thick, so that should give me a little room for my shaker bits to move around. And you could do the same thing with some foam. Just cut a piece of fun foam out using that the doubled up dies. And I did tape these together to make sure that all of my little hearts, my heart windows, were the same distance. I wanted to make sure that the inner heart was in the same spot on all of those. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and adhere the acetate down first, and then I can put that top layer, the colored pattern paper, onto it. So I'll do the same thing basically that I did on the other. This doesn't go all the way to the edge, but that's okay. It'll be covered up by that pattern paper, and I just want to make sure that the edges get really adhered well, just on the inside of that window, because that is going to prevent any of my shaker bits from going all over the place. Okay, so that looks good, and I'm going to give that a minute to dry. I'm just going to put a paperweight or two on top of it and let that dry for a minute. Okay, so I think that's had enough time for the acetate to dry. So I'm going to adhere the inner circle, the inner heart, to the background that's going to be basically the back cover on my little shaker, and put some adhesive on there, and then I'm going to place this solid heart that I cut from the larger one onto that piece. I'm going to try to keep this all in place. Oh, that is lining up nice. That's good. Okay, now I can remove the outer and put a little bit more glue there, but I need my fine tip for that. There we go. Okay, and then I'm going to set that to the side to let it dry just a little bit. The shaker bits that I'm using all came from this die set from Cuttlebug. It's the All Girl Confetti, and I did find a link to this over on Amazon. They say I only have a couple left, so I don't know if it's a discontinued product, but at least it is available right now. And I did cut out a few extras, and those are what I'm going to be using for my heart shaker today. And I think I overfilled this one to begin with, so I may already have enough to fill up the well on this one. These are the ones that I created yesterday when I was doing the video the first time, and then I've still got some of the high heels that I did a while back. And I basically just ran this through my my Gemini Junior with some scrap cardstock. You could do the same thing with any kind of confetti die. There are quite a few of the ones that are like cover plates that are a bunch of hearts. You could even use just a regular hole punch and cut down a lot of little circles to use as your confetti, or go into your stash and grab some seed beads or whatever, and you are good to go that way too. So I'm going to go ahead and just start putting some of these guys in and see if I need any more. So here's my pink, and the colors still go well with that same with that pattern paper, although it is a little bit different than what I used before. So I've got these little pink hearts and crowns. Those are so darling. And then this one I did out of some red foil cardstock. It's brown on the back, but I still think that that still looks pretty cute. And that may be about what I need. Looks like that's about right amount. And then I also wanted to add some of my heart confetti. And this is that same dish of confetti that I use. These are glitter shapes that I got from Target, and I've had these a couple years, and I'm not even halfway done with this. And you guys see I use these on my cards all the time. It's got multiple colors and shapes, or rather sizes, of the little hearts. And that's probably more full than I need, but that's okay. So next I'm going to just add some adhesive around the outside and then place my back panel onto that. Okay, and then I'm lining it up with the bottom because that is the hardest part to line up. And make sure everything fits on there and give it a chance to adhere well. And I will be back in just a second. I want to make sure this has time to dry. So while that's drying, I'm going to go ahead and just start working on my next embellishment. I figured all of those little hearts that I cut out of the centers would do well to create another little embellishment. So I'm going to be making some smaller heart balloons. And again, I'm just layering up a few of those. So that's nice and sturdy there, and it'll definitely add a little bit of dimension to your project when you add it on there. And then I'll go ahead and add that dotted balloon. To me, this is Minnie Mouse, and I don't have anything else to do for Minnie Mouse, and I don't have any more of that paper, and I absolutely love those red dots. That is so cute. I'm going to have to find some more. Okay, so back to the shaker. That looks really good, so I just need to add this piece to the top. Grab a hold of it with my tweezers so I can make sure I get everything lined up right. It's so much easier to hold on to paper and keep it straight with those reverse tweezers. Okay, so I'll line it up on the outside first. And now we have a cute little heart balloon shaker that's perfect to go on the front of a card. So I also cut out these little banner pieces. These were from another Cuttlebug die set, and I went ahead and cut out a few of those because those would work great for just a regular little banner. And I'm going to use one of my stamp sets, and I'm going to put a little message on there, a little sentiment. So for the sentiment, I decided I'm going to use these stamps from Concord and 9 Triple Step Hooray stamp set. This is a Kaleidacolor stamp pad by that's not by Spectrum, it's by Tuscaneco. Yes, Tuscaneco. I don't know if this is still available. I think I've seen a couple of them online, maybe over on Amazon. If I can find a link, I'll put it down below. The way that it works is you're supposed to leave it stored with the ink pads. It's got 5 little ink pads in there. You leave them separate. You push this little lever to push them together, and then you've got basically an ombre effect there. So I'm going to just use, because I want them to blend a little bit as well, I'm just going to use my Fiskars stamp press. So this one I've got is It's Your Day, and I think I want to do with the tails up, and that fits great there. And then the way to get the blended effect is when you put it down, you just do a little bit of tapping and shift it slightly. You don't want to go too much because you don't want the colors to blend too much or wind up with mud. And I'm going to start over in the orange because I definitely want that orange because that's so bright and festive to show. So I've got it stamped down. I'm just going to go back and forth a little bit. And then I will and I can see the color on there. I mean, I'm sure that you guys can see it too. So I'm going to go ahead and just stamp that down. Looks like I may have gotten it straight, which is good. And now I've got an It's Your Day. Okay, so I decided that a balloon always needs a bow, and to be honest, I don't know where my red white twine is, so I'm sure it'll turn up around somewhere, and I'll probably add it to these later. But I decided to go ahead and cut out a couple of little bows using a bow die that I had in my stash to go on the bottom of my little the tie place on my little balloons here. I'll go ahead and add a little bit of this adhesive there. I just add it right there at the bottom, and then it falls off. Okay, I'll add that there. Let me go ahead and do the same thing on my other one. Okay, and now I can go ahead and add one of the sentiments to the front of this. So I don't want to cover up the bow, and I don't want to cover up most of the heart. I could go up to the side. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put it up here in the corner. Just adding a little wet glue there, and then I'm going to just tack it down. And then those heart dies from Penny Black also had this cute little bird. I'm going to add him to that banner as well. I went ahead and cut him out of that same red foil cardstock. I'm going to do the same kind of thing on this balloon here. And this one, I'm going to just add a bead of glue across the front here to hold this down. And I think I am going to put it at a little bit of an angle. And now I'll put a little bit of glue on a second bird, because I'm going to put him on the banner as well. And then to use these, you'd basically just put some wet glue or even a dry tape runner on the back to adhere that down to whatever project you decide to use. That's going to finish up this video today for the Scrap Hoarders birthday edition for Embellishments. I think I really love how these guys turned out. And now I've got enough different things that I can add it to. I could either put them together on one project, or I can make a few different, and I've got some things already pre-made that are just adorable. I want to thank you guys for dropping in, and be sure to check out all the other crafters in the hop, because they will have some amazing things for you to see. Of course, I have to add a little more bling, but anywho, you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day, and remember, if I can make it, you can too. See you next time.